Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all well. Um, that's not Jim Carrey video. Again, I already kind of made one on this, but it's absolute proof, to be honest. When there's another crack, some guys coming out and saying that it was him in a mask. Um, but a few things on it as well, to be honest. I mean, this video's They Live Truth, again, the film. They Live with Roddy Piper, mentioned the film. They Live Truths, the name of the channel. Best evidence Jim Carrey replaced, 100% proof. Right, so, I mean, I've learned over the years, right, and I seem to have a key eye for this. Always go with your gut. Like, always go with your gut instinct. And right away, as soon as I seen this, I thought that's not Jim Carrey. And like, as mental as it is, right? But we live in, like, you got to remember at this point, right? The world is fucking mental. It really is. And like, we're going to really prove in this video that this isn't Jim Carrey. I think we already done that, to be honest, because this guy not only doesn't act or sound like Jim Carrey, this guy's right-handed and Jim Carrey is left-handed. There was many things mentioned in the previous video there why this isn't Jim Carrey, but this guy's gonna absolutely prove it without a shadow of a doubt, to be honest. Again, but right from the word go, literally the first time I seen this, my spider sense is what I'll call it. Was absolutely going off looking at this Jim Carrey, and it was just like there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. It's not Jim Carrey, and again, I mentioned in the previous video, the latex masks and etc. that we have in this day and age are absolutely brilliant. Like they really are. It's like Mission Impossible masks, you know. But I know they're not really masks on Mission Impossible, but that kind of standard. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, these masks are absolutely brilliant, and again, depending on how much the cost as well. Like again, look how good this really is. To be honest, it kind of looks like Jim Carrey. It'll fool a lot of people, and has. People have argued about it. Oh, it is Jim Carrey. It is. No, it definitely isn't. He's got the wrong eye color. There's another one. He's the wrong eye color. He's not left-handed. He's right-handed. There's something definitely wrong with the face. The cheeks are too big for a start. Again, the guy who claims it was him in a mask does have big cheeks. We will see him in a moment. Yeah, but I know for a fact, and I knew the very first time I seen this guy, that this wasn't Jim Carrey. It definitely isn't. Like 100%, this isn't Jim Carrey. So, a worrying thing is, to be honest, because this has now been like 3 or 4 days old here, 2 or 3 days old. The real Jim Carrey hasn't made an appearance, which is worrying me, to be honest, because I really like Jim Carrey, to be honest. I think he's real funny. I was just watching some clips earlier on there of him doing impressions of celebrities at like awards evenings when the celebrities are in the room, and he's fucking brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant at them. The celebrities are pissing themselves, even the guy he's taking the piss out of, because it's nothing offensive at all. It's just absolutely brilliant impression, because his face was the mask, as everyone knows. But it's the irony here, like that there's a man in a mask pretending to be Jim Carrey. Um, so it's quite worrying for me that this is maybe 3 days old now. This definitely isn't Jim Carrey. But the real Jim Carrey hasn't come out and addressed this and said anything about it. So the whole has he been replaced? And I mean, again, Jim Carrey came out, the all mocking tongue, and mentioned the Illuminati in a big interview. I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel, possibly, and Jimmy Kimmel didn't know where to put himself, and he said a few things a lot of times at awards evenings. As we've seen, this guy was completely acting out of character as well. That's another reason why it wasn't Jim Carrey. He was completely acting out of character, didn't sound like Jim Carrey. He's got different colour eyes, he's right-handed, he's not left-handed. I mean, it was absolutely stacking up, to be honest. But even just on the initial first time I ever saw it, I just thought, there's something wrong here. I actually said to someone in the message, "Have you seen the Jim Carrey thing?" And it's just weird. I hadn't pinned it down at that point. I'd only seen it once, but I just knew there was something wrong. There was something wrong here. So yeah, I think always go with your gut, or I do anyway. And I'm rarely wrong. I'm absolutely rarely wrong. Not to blow my own trumpet here, but there you go. So yeah, this isn't Jim Carrey. So this guy's going to prove it, really. He really is. But I think we already have, to be fair. Again, he's not got a different hand. He's got different eye colour. His face isn't quite right. He doesn't act or sound like Jim Carrey. I mean, nothing matches except a slight look of him, as we mentioned in the previous video there. So yeah, again, it'll work with a lot of people because a lot of people won't be able to grasp that somebody would attempt this. But as I've mentioned, if Jim Carrey's been taken out here, and this was an actual attempt to fool the public, but it didn't get past. So they've maybe had to come out, and this guy's had to come out and mention playing him, who we'll get to, this guy here on the left. He's mentioned being this guy and playing Jim Carrey in The Mask. That's the claim. Whether he's just looking for fame, I do not know. But Jim Carrey still hasn't come out and addressed this, so I find that strange and also kind of worrying, especially in light of what Jim Carrey has said in the past there. But we've got some footage here of Jim Carrey about 100 days ago, just before Christmas there. And it's definitely the real Jim Carrey, you can tell instantly. So yeah, I'll play the video anyway. But yeah, as I said in the previous, it's definitely not Jim Carrey. This guy pretty much we've already proved it, but we'll prove it some more. Here we go.
This individual playing Jim Carrey at the award show in France is 100% not Jim Carrey. And there's a lot of distraction taking place. And of course, it's the people behind the scenes pulling the strings behind all this. And the controllers love to play with society. They love to...
Yeah, they totally do. And again, they tried it, like, if we hadn't said anything, this would have just flown, you know what I mean?
Play with the world. It's a game to them. Another aspect I should point out is this individual, Alexis Stone, who claims that he or she played the role.
Yeah, I mean, he's got big cheeks. He has got massive fucking cheeks here, hasn't he? He got fucking implants or something, but it maybe was him because again, he shows a picture of a mask here and the Eiffel Tower in the background. As the guy says, it could be AI, but he has got big cheeks, and he did look like Jim Carrey had big cheeks there. So again, he's maybe had to come out and say it was him because we busted them. Do you know what I mean? We've absolutely busted them here. But yet again, why hasn't Jim Carrey addressed this? Was Jim Carrey behind this? Does Jim Carrey know about this? Do you know what I mean? Like, did Jim Carrey sanction this guy to go as him? And it's all a bit fucked up in a way when you start thinking about that. Where's Jim Carrey and what's he say about all this? Do you know what I mean?
Of Jim Carrey in France. And supposedly the mask that was used. And you can see here the wig as well, toupee, and the Eiffel Tower as well. This looks like all AI to me. Doesn't even look legit. But if this person, Alexis Stone, was hired to play the role of Jim Carrey in France, why would this person come out and state that if they want to keep it a secret? That makes...
Yeah. Again, why do this? And then, well... I mean, they've come out and said because the internet's busted them, haven't we? We've absolutely busted them here. And many people, like myself, just instantly thought, again, and I'm not American, as I said in the previous video. I never watched him on Saturday Night Live, where he really sort of made his fame. I got him in the Hollywood films, Ace Ventura, Liar Liar, The Mask, all these sort of films, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so I knew instantly, having watched this guy fucking all my childhood, that, hold on a minute, this isn't Jim Carrey. It looks a little bit like him, but as we mentioned there, he's not acting like him. And then again, the clever people who really sort of analyse the shit out of everything noticed that he's got different colour eyes here, he's not left-handed, this guy's right-handed. So... yeah, I mean, it was absolutely nailed that it wasn't him. So whether they've had to come out and admit it because we absolutely nailed it, I don't know. But again, my big concern is what does Jim Carrey make of all this? Why hasn't he mentioned it? Why hasn't he come out and said anything? Is he still alive? Did they take him out? And that was an attempt to try and pull the wool over everybody's eyes here. And it's went to shit. But why isn't Jim Carrey addressed the entire issue here? That's what I'm thinking.
Makes no sense. Again, this is nothing more than a distraction aspect with this individual part of it. And it's obviously, this individual is being highlighted in the mainstream media. So they're giving you many options, and it's all part of the confusion with this.
Yeah. Oh, massively. All part of the confusion, all part of the show, all part of the distraction as well. We're busy discussing this and not bigger topics, I suppose. You know what I mean? Is it Jim Carrey? Does it really matter? You know what I mean? It does in a way, but at the same time, we're still getting fucked over from every angle by the global elites here. So yeah, distraction, and again, the possibility that he has been taken out by the global elites for trying to expose them and won't play ball with the Hollywood bullshit. Again, who knows? Again, this guy kind of claims he sold out Jim Carrey. That's how he made it big in the first place, which he maybe did. But then I don't know, because it's like Mel Gibson and people, and like many celebrities, Dolph Lundgren, and many celebrities turn to like are big stars, and then they just vanish. And a lot of that could be because they wouldn't play ball. You know what I mean? But many celebrities have massive fame and then just completely vanish. And just like Mel Gibson is a perfect example. Still well alive there. Still, you know what I mean? Again, been on Joe Rogan, etc. So yeah, was it this guy? And again, with the size of the cheeks, I'm inclined to think it maybe could have been. But as I've said for about 50 fucking times in this video, where's Jim Carrey? What does Jim Carrey make of all this?
This distraction psyop. And I did a little research with this whole situation with Jim Carrey. And obviously the award show was not too long ago, February 26th of this year. And I was looking at, when was the last time Jim Carrey made a public appearance? Let's compare. And this is it. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame from this past November, not too long ago, obviously, approximately 100 days ago. And without a shadow of a doubt, this is the real Jim Carrey. He looks nothing like.
Yeah, I mean, instantly, absolutely instantly. Yeah, that's Jim Carrey. No shadow of a doubt. Nothing wrong with his face. You know what I mean? Again, he's got the right colour eyes. So, instantly, you're already. That's Jim Carrey. No shadow in the doubt. No shadow of doubt in the entire world for me. 100 days ago, that is Jim Carrey. Yep, completely agree. When he speaks eventually, it is Jim Carrey again. His voice, it sounds like him. It acts like Jim Carrey. That is Jim Carrey.
Like the individual we saw in France. And when I show all the video clips put together, it's going to be zero doubt that this is the imposter Jim Carrey.
Yeah, again, it's like people were saying, has he had Botox? Has he got contact lenses in? Well, that's because it doesn't look like Jim Carrey. You know what I mean? The fact that you're coming out with these comments of has he had Botox and has he got contacts in, it's because doesn't look like Jim Carrey properly, does it? You know what I mean? That's why these comments are coming. But we've ultimately already proved it. It isn't contacts. He has different colour eyes. Again, can we go back to the actual guy here? What are we on? It's 2 minutes. Let's go back to this guy. Yeah, I mean, he maybe has got them colour eyes. They're definitely lighter. They're definitely lighter than Jim Carrey has dark hazel eyes. So, yeah, again, like instantly. Oh, sorry, wrong. Oh no, I've missed the picture. No, we're going back to it in a minute anyway. So yeah, this isn't Jim Carrey, and again, the fact that people were coming out with all them comments about has he had Botox and because there was something wrong. You know what I mean? There was something wrong.
That this is the imposter Jim Carrey, and the real one, again, just from approximately 100 days ago, right here. And let's get right to it. The introduction of Jim Carrey as he introduces Soundgarden into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And this is Jim Carrey making his entrance to the staging area.
Soundgarden into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Jim Carrey. Soundgarden into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And
yeah, I mean, he just looks creepy, the guy on the left, didn't he? And he was talking creepy, he was acting weird. Yeah, it wasn't Jim Carrey. Absolutely wasn't Jim Carrey. Again, the guy on the right is absolutely Jim Carrey here. Again, the eyebrows, he's got thicker eyebrows. You can see how dark Jim Carrey's eyes are. They're really dark fucking brown, hazel. These are not. Again, there's nothing wrong with his face here. And it's a known fact, Jim Carrey wouldn't have Botox, right? That's the big problem with that argument is Jim Carrey would not have Botox. He frowns on all this celebrity culture, as we've seen in many interviews there. He thinks it's all beneath him at this point, to be honest. So, yeah, I mean, it's already a hands down here, but we'll just hear him speak.
Again, just take a look. This is the real Jim Carrey. Again, just 100 days ago, and this is the imposter. And definitely, it does appear like he's wearing a mask. The way his face is kind of...
Yeah, he's probably wearing a mask. I mean, well, he's definitely wearing a mask. Whether it's that guy, I'm just seeing if I can get if the quality will shift here. No, that's the quality. No, it looks like he's had yellow liquid spilled all over him here. I mean, you could even say that this was the mask joining here. Look at this line. You know what I mean? There's a big line right here. If you can see it. I don't know. I can't make it any bigger, to be honest. But there's a line right up here, even there. There's a line. That could be where the mask's joining or folding, where it's not tight on his neck. So it's without doubt a man in a mask, and it's not Jim Carrey. I mean, it's 100% proved. But we'll just hear Jim Carrey speak as he gets to the stage here. I'll just play it.
Inflated. It looks swollen, and
yeah, again, it's that could be the mask. So we'll hear Jim Carrey speak. Hold on.
And just let's take a listen to Jim Carrey speak here. Just a few seconds, but just enough so everybody can obviously recognize his voice clearly compared to the imposter.
Tonight, I have the honor of inducting Soundgarden into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Again, it's going to be crystal clear when I play this clip side by side of the real Jim Carrey and the imposter, who kind of looks like almost like Bill Murray.
I think people have said the guy of Fallout, the series, and I can see the similarities with the guy of Fallout, like. But whether it's this guy with the big cheeks, he does look like he's got big cheeks, mind. Yeah, and a wide sort of jaw. So it could be the guy who's claimed that it was him, but again, why did this happen? And has Jim Carrey sanctioned it? Well, where's Jim Carrey on the matter now that it's all been sort of exposed? And you know what I mean? If Jim Carrey sanctioned it, it's all a bit suspicious to me.
When Bill Murray was obviously a bit younger. Let's play this clip, very short, but this is going to put the nail in the coffin, so to say, with the imposter faker Jim Carrey and the real Jim Carrey. Let's play this clip.
Tonight, I have the honor of inducting Soundgarden.
It's so beautiful and having Michelle, to me it's a
Soundgarden.
Yeah, sounds like he turned gay, which the Lado does look a bit gay, you know what I mean? So, absolutely, see, Lado, he does look a bit gay, you know what I mean? Could have been him, absolutely could have been him, like, definitely wasn't Jim Carrey anyway. I think we've proved that hands down of the two videos. He's not left-handed, he hasn't got the same colour eyes, doesn't act or sound like Jim Carrey. Yeah, and this guy's come out and claimed it was him in the mask. So, there you go. Oh, we'll leave it there, peace. It's not Jim Carrey.